I'm Emily Jane Zeigler. When I was 14 years old, I knew I wanted to be baptized, but it took me 4 years to get there. When I was 14, I was going through a tough time in high school. I just finished my freshman year and I was having a hard time with my friends, my family a bit, and schoolwork felt impossible at times. And around that time, I was really struggling to understand my place in my community and where I wanted to go in life, and I was really confused on what to do. So 2 weeks after my 14th birthday, I was still searching and I was still trying to find the meaning that I was looking for. And my best friend, he shared a little bit about another 14-year-old boy who was searching for light and truth in his life, and we kept talking and talking about Joseph Smith and the Restoration and the Book of Mormon, and he told me so much in that one night. It sounded really weird, but I wanted to learn more. So when he gave me a copy of the Book of Mormon, I took it and I began reading it that night, and I loved it. It made so much sense to me, and I kept reading and I kept growing more curious, and I actually ended up reading it in 6 months, cover to cover, because it was so meaningful to me. I think I kept reading the Book of Mormon because I wanted to kind of escape my life at times. And also, it was where I found the most peace and the most joy and where I felt like I belonged. It was actually a month after beginning to read the Book of Mormon that I knew I wanted to be baptized. And although I love the Book of Mormon, I loved learning about the Church of Jesus Christ, my parents did not agree with my new beliefs and they did not want me to be baptized. So as I continued to investigate the church, I realized it felt like it was just going to cause more and more contention in my family because my parents didn't want to talk about the gospel. And I had to study on my own. I had my own little church sessions on Sundays. It was really tough some days. So there I was at 14, emotionally and spiritually ready to join a new church, but I couldn't. No matter how committed I felt, I wanted to honor and respect my parents, and I couldn't make that decision without them. At the same time, I was not fully part of my old church anymore. So all of my friends at church and the community I was part of and everything there, I didn't feel fully part of it, but I didn't feel fully part of the church I wanted to join either. And I felt so stuck. I felt trapped. I kept turning back to my scriptures and the gospel. My two truths were that I loved my family and I wanted to be a baptized member of the church. I didn't know what to do. It felt like it shattered my dreams, and I didn't want to go to church anymore. I was tired of feeling like all my efforts were never going anywhere and leading me to where I wanted to go. So I stopped trying and I turned away. I met with the missionaries every once in a while, but I was frustrated because I felt like the answer was always going to be no. I felt like the church was rejecting my righteous desire of wanting to be baptized, and I felt like if I wasn't really wanted, maybe I didn't want to be part of the church. I didn't see myself being part of the church anymore because it was so exhausting, pouring everything I had for years and years into wanting to be baptized, and it looked like it was never going to happen. My mental health started to plummet, just like it did when I was 14. And I started struggling with my depression and my anxiety in ways that I wasn't expecting. I didn't know who to turn to because I didn't want to turn to God in those moments because I felt like He was going to tell me no to everything I wanted. So I turned to my old friend who had shared the gospel with me so long ago. He asked me if we could pray together. And I thought to myself, like, I haven't prayed in months. Like, it won't help. And I don't think I'm worthy enough to come back to God right now. But we prayed together. And in those moments, I felt this connection that I had been missing. And I knew that I needed to come back. I needed to make a change. And that I needed to turn back to the truth that I knew, even if it felt frustrating at times. So here I am, finally, after turning 18, I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I think that a mistake I made a few times in the past 4 years was thinking that baptism was going to be the culmination of all my efforts and that it was the goal, but really baptism is just the first step. Looking back, I think I was introduced to the gospel at the perfect right time. Even if the timing didn't always feel perfect to me, I think that I was placed perfectly in the situations I was placed in. And I wouldn't trade the past 4 years for anything. The Book of Mormon was central to everything. I don't know where I'd be without turning to it and turning to all the scriptures for more strength. Every little experience has led me here. I think of all the moments that when you look at them all together, it feels like they were impossibly placed, because there's no way that I could have done this on my own. But I wasn't on my own. And I've had Heavenly Father leading me every single step of the way and introducing pivotal doctrine, pivotal scriptures, and pivotal people into my life at specific times. And I'm so grateful, and I feel like taking it step by step, I'm able to just follow. I have no idea where I'm going, and I have no idea where I'm at sometimes too. But I do know that I'm being led somewhere, and it's okay if I don't quite see it yet.